Gentlemen, many men believe they can read a woman's past simply by looking at her. They assume appearance alone tells the whole story. But the truth runs much deeper. What reveals a person's history isn't always what's visible, it's hidden in subtle details that most men overlook. These signs are not obvious, nor are they meant for shallow judgment. They are threads of behavior, patterns woven into her speech, her choices, her friendships, and her body language. Once you recognize them, you'll see a truth that cannot be unseen. I once knew a man who was intelligent, successful, and confident on the surface. Yet time after time, he was blindsided in relationships. He judged women only by their beauty and charm, and every time he ended up confused when things collapsed. It wasn't until he discovered the Stoic way, quiet observation without judgment, that he began to see clearly. What I share with you now isn't meant to condemn women. It is meant to sharpen your awareness, to help you protect your values and avoid being deceived by appearances. Sign 1. The casual language of intimacy. The first sign isn't found in how she looks, but in how she speaks. Pay attention to her words when conversations turn toward relationships, intimacy, or past experiences. A woman who has entertained many partners often carries a casualness in her tone. Intimacy may be spoken of as something light, without depth, without consequence. She may tell stories that normalize experiences as if they were no more meaningful than going out for coffee. The Stoics remind us that language reveals thought, and thought reveals character. When her words treat what should be meaningful as trivial, it may point to a history that stretches further than she admits. This is not about judgment, it is about awareness. Her words carry clues, and those clues, if ignored, can blindside you later. Sign 2. Her resistance to commitment. The second sign hides in her relationship with commitment itself. A woman who has cycled through many short-lived connections often struggles to anchor herself. She may avoid conversations about the future. She may deflect questions about labels or long-term stability. Instead, everything remains in a state of, let's just see where it goes. This avoidance is not random, it reflects an inner restlessness. When bonds are temporary, commitment feels heavy, even suffocating. She may crave freedom, but freedom without direction is often another word for instability. A Stoic man observes without anger. He does not try to force commitment where there is none. He sees reality as it is and chooses wisely whether to stay or walk away. Sign 3. Her body language in social settings. The third sign is written not in words but in actions. Observe how quickly she crosses physical boundaries. Notice how naturally she leans into touch, how easily she slips into flirtation, how comfortable she is making intimacy feel casual. If intimacy comes as easily as flipping a switch, it may not be instinct, it may be habit. Habits are built through repetition, and repetition forms character. Think of the Stoic principle. Repeated actions shape the soul. A woman's body language tells a story of her past far more clearly than her spoken words. Watch closely. If what is sacred feels routine to her, that routine has likely been formed over time. Sign 4. Her friendships with other women. The fourth hidden sign is found not in how she treats you, but in how she relates to other women. A woman who carries deep bonds with long-term female friends often reveals stability, loyalty, and consistency. But when a woman has few enduring friendships, when her stories are filled, instead with fleeting drama, burned bridges, and endless cycles of short-term excitement, it reveals a deeper pattern. Stable people build stable connections. Unstable choices create instability everywhere. Friendships, like romantic relationships, require patience, forgiveness, and trust. When those bonds are missing, you are seeing not an accident but a reflection of character. Now here is where most men go wrong. They take these signs as weapons for judgment, as ammunition to shame or condemn. But that is not the Stoic way. A Stoic does not seek to control the past of others. He does not rage against reality. He simply sees clearly. He acknowledges what is before him without illusion. These signs are not reasons to despise a woman. They are reasons to understand her more deeply and to protect your own values. The man I spoke of earlier, the one who was constantly blindsided, eventually learned this lesson. He stopped being seduced by appearances. He stopped judging only by charm or beauty. Instead, he learned to value consistency, loyalty, and quiet integrity. That shift changed his entire life. Where he once fell into illusions, he now walked with patience and calm discernment. He no longer needed to be told the truth, he could see it. So remember this. The 4 hidden signs exist: her words, her commitment, her body language, and her friendships. They are not always loud, but they are always present. If you watch closely, you will see. But do not use these signs to condemn, use them to choose wisely. The Stoic way is not about judgment, it is about clarity. See reality as it is. Guard your values. Seek bonds built on truth, not illusion. And above all, never be fooled by appearances. In the end, wisdom lies not in shaming others, but in protecting your path. The signs are there. The choice is yours.